Good, thank you. How are you going? Well. I'll pick that up here. That's an Australian one, isn't it? We don't say that in the UK, but I've started saying it. I usually say, how you doing? But if you say that in Australia, people actually tell you how they're doing. And we don't want that. And then I also say in the UK, you're right. And then if you say that, people are like, yeah, I think so, but why, what have you heard? So yeah, this is my first time in Australia. Loving it. Good country. I like what you've done with the place. Love it that much, I'm going to be honest. I'm not fucking leaving. I've got a plan. Well, I've not really got a plan. I'm just going to miss my flight and see what happens. That's the plan. And I was on the phone to my friend in the UK and I was telling him how good this country is. I was like, mate, it's amazing. I'm staying. And he's like, why? Is it the amazing weather? Is it the beautiful coffee shops? Is it the brilliant scenery? Is it like the fantastic minimum wage? I was like, no, none of that. Listen to this. They do McDonald's breakfast 24 hours a day. That's revolution. We don't have that in the UK. Seriously, that is amazing. If I want to have hash browns with a Big Mac in the UK or an Egg McMuffin with fries, you know the lengths I have to go to? I have to turn up at McDonald's at 10:28 a.m, make the first part of my order, then loiter around the tills for 3 minutes and make the second part of my order. That's why I'm staying. That's basically the main reason I'm staying, because you do McDonald's breakfast all day. I'm a big fan of food. I don't know if you've seen this bit in here. You've caught that. I'm about 3 kilos away from changing my Facebook picture to a Ferrari or a football badge. That's how fat I am. My poster next year will be a random dog off Google, because that's how fat I've got. And it's because I do this as my job. Like, I talk to people for at tops an hour a day, and the rest of my time I'm just spent travelling around different cities and countries looking for good takeaways. I'm more of a professional takeaway finder than a comedian, I'll be honest. I had what should have been a bit of a wake-up call recently. I was driving home from a gig in the UK, and I bought a kebab just for me, no one else. Put it on the passenger seat of my car when I was driving, and that beeper started going off. You know that one, yeah, the beeper that's designed to go off when it detects the weight of a fucking person. You know you've got serious issues when you have to put a seatbelt around your kebab when you're driving. But the thing is, I know what it is, I know why I put weight on. I don't get food guilt anymore. Now, food guilt is that little voice in your head which pops up when you're eating too much junk food, fast food, takeaway, and it just pops up and it tells you off. It just goes, pop, pop, and it just goes, stop being such a fat bastard, then disappears and it's gone, right? We've all had that voice. Now, I don't get that voice anymore. That voice has been replaced with a voice which reasons with me on everything and comes up with brilliant excuses. So, a few weeks ago, I had 3 Indian takeaways in a week, which sounds like quite a lot. But then this little voice just popped up in my head and it just went, yeah, but Chris, if you lived in India, that'd just be your dinner. Don't worry about it, fat boy, carry on. Good way of thinking about it, innit? I was gonna try and lose some weight. I was gonna start running, right? This was the plan. I'll start running. So I had a look into it. Right, if I'll do 10k, I'll start off with 10k. Everyone's doing 10k on Facebook. Look on Facebook. There's people well fatter than me doing 10ks, right? So anyway, I downloaded one of these apps, what tells you how far you've gone and how long it's took you. And cut a long story short here, basically what happened was I set off running and I looked at my phone and I had a stitch while I was still connected to my home Wi-Fi. Not good at all. So yeah, my first time in Australia, I told my dad I was coming out to do some international gigs in Australia, some comedy shows, and he had to give me some dad advice. I'll explain what dad advice is. Any dads in the room, give us a cheer. Yay. About 3, wicked, and proper dad cheer as well. Get on with the jokes, fat boy, okay. Dad advice is quite similar to advice, but absolutely fucking useless. It's where your dad feels as though it's his duty, no matter what age you are, no matter where you're up to in your life, to know more than you about anything you're about to do because he's your dad and that's what dads do. So I told my dad I was coming out to Australia to do some comedy shows. He's never been to Australia. He doesn't know anything about comedy, but he had to give me some dad advice. And he said, right, son, he said, when you get to Australia, when you do them shows, what you want to do, you want to get on stage and make people laugh. Okay, nice one. I'll write that one down. Thank you very much. I think it's because you're at a special level of know-it-all when you're a dad, right? And I realised this when I was about 9 or 10 years old. I was sat with my mum and dad watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. You know the format, you've got the question, then you've got the 4 possible answers, A, B, C or D. When the answers came up, right, I saw my dad turn to my mum and he went, yeah, it's none of them. That's a special level of know-it-all. You only get in there unless you're a dad. It's a special type of bullshit, dad advice, and I love it. I'm a big fan of bullshit as well, by the way. I'm trying to bring that back. I'm a bit worried in 2019 there's not many good bullshitters around anymore, right? Has anyone noticed this? They're dying out a little bit. Well, this is what got me thinking about it, right? I recently went to buy an iPhone cable because mine has stopped working. Yeah, you know, like the charging cable. Didn't go to the Apple shop because I don't like to give money to the man. And also, it's good to have a fire hazard plugged in at the side of your bed at all times. I went to a little independent trader in the UK, a little shop, more of a stall, and this guy specialised in this shop. He specialised in e-cig liquid for vape sticks, right? Ironing board covers and scouring pads. So what could go wrong when you're buying electrical items? You're going to leave it unattended for long periods of time, right? And I bought this iPhone cable in this shop, and I think it might have been unofficial because it cost £1. It was yellow and it had Chinese writing on it. I gave the money to the man, he gave me the cable. I just said in passing, I said, listen, this isn't going to stop working tomorrow, this is it. And he looked at me really serious and he went, no mate, you get 2 weeks out of that, no problem. Who's not lying in that situation? Just lie to me for God's sake, right? And I know why people aren't lying anymore. It's because of smartphones, because years ago there was no smartphones, and if you wanted to do a bit of bullshitting, right, you could do a bit of bullshitting, you drop a bit of bullshit into a conversation, there was no one fact-checking. There was no one fact-checking on a phone, was there? Now, 2019, you're in the pub with your friends, you're having a conversation with your friends, you want to drop a bit of bullshit in, make it more interesting, liven it up a little bit. Someone who's not even in your friends group will overhear your conversation from the other side of the pub and just come over, get the phone out and start joining in with you. Actually, mate, I think you'll find nobody's ever won the Tour de France on a BMX. Where have you come from? Fucking Johnny Wikipedia behind me, all right, son? Fantastic. I love it though, really, really love it. It's an amazing opportunity to come to this country to do these shows because, I'll be honest, like in the UK I've been doing a lot of weird gigs recently, and I'll explain how I found myself doing a lot of charity gigs. Now, charity gigs, like charity shows, are a little bit different. They're usually run by lovely people working for a charity doing a great thing, but they know nothing about comedy, so they can be a bit weird, right? And the last one I did, it was a variety night, so it wasn't just comedy, it was a bit of something for everyone. I was on between an over-60s breakdancing group called Hip Hop, which is a fantastic name. No H on the hop, like Hip Operation, I see what you've done there. Then after me was a Meatloaf tribute act, because my career's at an all-time high in the UK. And I turned up and I was the only comedian on, and it was a lovely woman working for the charity, and she said to me, "Are you the comedian?" I said, "Yes." She said, "We'd like you to do about 20 to 25 minutes. I said, "That's absolutely fine, no problem." And then she said a line to me I've never heard before. She went, "Oh yeah, by the way, is it Chris?" I went, "Yeah." She went, "Chris, if you can help it, we don't really..." And by the way she said really made it sound like there was scope on this, and it was my decision. She said, "We don't really want you to do any racist jokes, if that's all right, Chris." With a thumbs up. I didn't add the thumbs up, she did the thumbs up, right? Now, 2019, I don't need briefing on that kind of stuff before I walk on stage. Not that I was doing that stuff last year, that isn't what I'm saying, right? My favourite part of the sentence was the bit where she said, "If you can help it." I didn't realise I was giving off a vibe where I look like I can't help being fucking racist. But I thought, what do you say to that in this day and age? So I thought, right, I'm a comedian, I'll make a joke out of it, I'll break the ice, we'll just have a laugh. So I just said, messing around, I said, "Listen," I said, that's all I really do. I kind of specialise in racist jokes. That's my thing," which I thought was hilarious. She didn't laugh at all. And then I just saw the look of panic in her face, and she went like this. She just went, "Yeah, that's fine. Just do that and that'll be all right." People like that shouldn't be in charge of things, should they? Can you imagine if someone like that got voted in as Prime Minister to run the country or something? I am Mrs. Prime Minister. I think we should invade North Korea and Russia at the same time, drop a load of bombs, try and take them over. What do you think? No, I don't think that's a good idea, to be honest with you. Well, listen, hear me out. We've got all the bombs out now. They're pretty much ready to go. Kevin's got them all out of the cupboards, haven't you, Kevin? So we might as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, fuck it, have a go, why not? Yeah, cool. I've been Chris Washington, thank you very much, you've been great, cheers.